Hey guys, welcome into the Snap Fantasy Football Podcast, Week 16 Championship Sunday. This is a live stream. I got Lando and producer Scott here with me. Shout out to everybody that came by yesterday. Amazing to see the love and support from all of you. And I'll just start by saying, look, Kyler Murray, TJ Hockenson, I'm there with you. I started them in a championship matchup, and Kyler was the play for me. It didn't work out. But I'll take a tiny victory lap on Jeff Wilson. Just know, hey, we're not going to get everything right, guys, but we are happy with the process and happy that you guys are here with us holding it down. Gentlemen, how are we today? Hopefully doing well. I'm ready for a big championship Sunday, and we got a lot of news to kick this one off with.
Yeah, Mac, I'm excited for Championship Sunday. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is our Super Bowl. I was very happy when Jeff Wilson went off because we recommended him to a lot of people. Myles Gaskin is also a guy that I was in on, and he had a really good game as well.
You were.
So hopefully those guys helped you out to get you halfway there to a championship, but today is the biggest day.
I also sat down Myles Gaskin yesterday, so
should have listened to the man.
Big pivot day, big rebound day for the boys here. Some news to kick it off with. We've got, if you didn't know, we had some close contacts come in yesterday for the Cleveland Browns. That's Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Donovan People-Jones, a lot of pass catchers down there. If you are relying on one of those pieces, Marvin Hall might be a nice pivot play for you, but we'll get into him later. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb look to be carrying the load for the Browns. So if you're interested in all in that matchup, how we perceive that to play out, put your questions in the comments, and we'll certainly get to them. Terry McLaurin is not going to play today, and neither is Christian McCaffrey. Shocker there. What do you do, Lando, with Terry McLaurin shares? Are you seeing? I see Terry McLaurin out, Antonio Gibson expected to play. What are you kind of thinking for J.D. McKissick today?
Yeah, I'm not going to start either of the Washington backfield unless it's desperation, unless you need, if you're behind and you faced a Myles Gaskin or you faced a Jeff Wilson, those are the kind of players. I mean, Alvin Kamara, you might as well just turn off the stream and go back to bed. But the other guys, at least you have a shot to come back, and maybe Antonio Gibson is the guy that gets you those 20 points. But I think it's going to be a tough go for both of them going forward. I want to also give a shout out to our producer Scott here. He is the one hammering Twitter. Scotty, I know you're doing it right now. Say hi to the guys in the stream.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Today is Super Bowl Sunday, and you know what? It's Pivot Sunday. It's 2020. That's my championship's over. I've got Landry. I was relying on him. It's 2020. You had to assume something horrific was going to happen. So we're here to help you look at your other options. And you never know when maybe an Lazard is going to be the hero of the championship who puts up a 30 out of nowhere. I mean, this is what we're here for. Don't give up until the last bell, because anything can happen. An ankle can tweak against your matchup, and all of a sudden that guy's posting a 0. And if you have a good flex play, you win. So that's what we're here for. Let's get her done.
The last news we'll share here about the football team, Dwayne Haskins expected to be the starter. At this point, it was believed that Alex Smith had a chance. He was trending maybe to play all week of practice, but never really got to full health. So assuming that Dwayne Haskins will be the starter there, that bodes well for Logan Thomas. Allen Robinson is expected to play today against Jacksonville. A little bit of a revenge game for him. And I think Robinson pops off. He's a top 5 wide receiver for us this week in our rankings, and we'll see how it goes. Another guy that is up in our rankings is expected to play today is Tyreek Hill for the Kansas City Chiefs. If you have him, you need to roll him out. And that's kind of it for right now. I'm sure more will come up as we're going throughout, but I want to get into some questions, gentlemen. So let's help out our people. We had TJ Eastman come in right off the bat and say, hey guys, PPR league, I need a flex help. Russell Gage or Antonio Gibson, and this kind of really tests the Antonio Gibson love right out of the gate, Landon.
Yeah, it does. We saw Gage have a couple good games with Julio out. He even passed a touchdown. If it's in a PPR league, I don't mind going Gage in this scenario. It's a tough one because it's kind of brand name versus kind of a need, a desperation play in Gage. But I think I prefer Gage, but I might be taking it a little too far.
It's tough, man. Like, Myles Gaskin, I had reservations about. I didn't really want to play either of the running backs, and that game script was just wild. It kind of took a turn, and Myles Gaskin was fantastic. Now, to say that Antonio Gibson will be that when he comes back, it's just so hard to predict. So to say that it happened in one scenario and it might happen in another, really there's no correlation there. It's what do you believe to be the upside for both players? Antonio Gibson, could he have a 70 rushing, 70 receiving day with a touchdown? Yeah, he probably could. Is J.D. McKissic going to be relied on like he has been the last couple of weeks? We don't know what the split looks like, so it's tough. Russell Gage certainly has the upside as a receiving option, and also a passer if you want to go as that far. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on this one. I think I would roll out Gibson, but man, I don't know.
So he's got Watson in at quarterback, but he's tempted to start Hurts. We've talked about Hurts at length. Watson is in a really good matchup against Cincinnati, but we all know this perceived upside with Jalen Hurts. He's not going to do what Kyler did last night and put up 15. We know that.
We don't know that.
At least that's his. I guess that's his floor with his rushing, because Kyler put up 60 something on the ground. That's I think what Hurts.
Well, and
75 on the ground.
With Kyler though yesterday, when they played why did I just say Carolina? When they played the Niners the first time around, Kyler Murray ran for 100 yards. It was 92 yards on the ground, and first and 15, they send the house. It's why don't we have a little hey, Cliff, why don't we have a little dump off option for Kyler to avoid the pressure? Kyler, why don't you just use your legs because you're really fast? And he didn't start rushing the football until the second half. And really, Robert Saleh's defense sat back there in his zone defense and just sort of said, okay, Kyler, go ahead and throw it. And Kyler, I was projecting Kyler to be a little bit more mobile. And we saw some success in the second half, but the game script was just terrible. And I think a lot of terrible calls by Cliff Kingsbury, and that game script was just blah. Will that happen with Jalen Hurts?
Absolutely.
Probably not, but it is what it is. I would roll out Watson. I would go with your stud. That's kind of what I did. That was the process for me. Kyler Murray got me to the championship. I'm sure Deshaun Watson got you to your championship, and I would just roll with him. I think between those two positions, I would go Gibson Watson, a little bit of upside, a little bit of floor, or go true upside and go Gage Hurts.
Love it. JP is asking a similar quarterback question. Now, Jalen Hurts and Baker Mayfield. A lot yesterday after our stream ended where the entire receiving core for the Cleveland Browns is out. So the confidence in Baker Mayfield has to go down, even against the Jets.
For sure.
In that scenario, I think I'd just go Jalen Hurts, JP.
I would go Jalen Hurts as well. I was really high on Baker Mayfield. This is a smash matchup against the Jets, but now, like Landon said, with all of their receiving options out, really going to be relying on Marvin Hall and Austin Hooper and Harrison Bryant as the receiving options. I see a really run-heavy load with an offensive line that's been great, and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, who, Nick Chubb was always a smash play, but Kareem Hunt now, as a running back too, is really kind of boosted himself up. I think it's just going to be relentless pressure on the ground today. So I'm kind of off Baker Mayfield and really in on Jalen Hurts if those are your two.
Kevin, what's going on? Thanks for coming by, Kev. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We're trying to get to 1,100 subscribers, and I think we can do it today. If you're new and watching the channel, make sure to give it a like as well. Our record is 92 likes, and I think we can get to 100 today. This is the biggest day in our fantasy football league, so just give us a little congrats, a little pat on the back, a little like on our video for all the hard work we've put in all year long. But I need a little pat on the back.
I'll get you, Lando. Don't worry. When the lockdown is over, we'll get you a little pat.
Sounds good. Full PPR.
Yeah. And
what's up?
Okay, so we got Kev, full PPR. man. Keenan Allen, Robinson. Yeah, James Robinson for the Jacksonville Jaguars is out officially. He will not play. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Devine Ozigbo is going to be James Robinson.
Well, yeah, I don't think he will be. I do not have confidence.
No, when Leonard Fournette was cut, we all thought, hey, this is the guy that's going to step up. We never thought that an undrafted rookie running back would be as good as James Robinson. Like, we haven't seen that since Arian Foster, really. And if you want to say, oh, Philip Lindsay had a season and is now on the IR, and he has done nothing for you. Devine Ozigbo will be an okay play, but it's in a tough matchup against the Bears. I'm not trying to start him. If I were you, I would go Robbie Anderson, I would go Russell Gage, and I would go Zeke. I would sit down Ozigbo because I think we'll see some Agumbawale in there too. So it's just I'm not in on that.
Yeah, Robbie, Russell Gage, and Zeke is who I'd go with as well.
And it's funny, we've gotten a lot of questions lately about, hey, like, we love you guys and we want to support you. And do you have super chats on? Can we tip you? I want to send you some of my winnings as far as that. And it's like, you guys just being here and giving us your eyes and ears for 90 minutes is all that we need. So don't worry about trying to support. There'll be tons of opportunity in the future as we grow, but like Landon said, let's continue to grow this community. And
I wouldn't say no to like a nice bottle of scotch. We could probably get you an address for that. I could make that happen probably.
Oh man. G Diaz, which of the two running backs to pick up from Jacksonville? I mean, if you're in a desperation play, I think you go with Ozigbo, just because he'll probably be the 1-2 down back. Agumbawale, we've seen his pass catching chops when he was with Tampa, but it's not an attractive option again in a tough matchup against the Bears. So I'm gonna go Ozigbo if that's your only option, but hopefully you have other plays. Bob says, is Robinson going to play today? Yeah, Bob, he's going to play. You definitely roll him out. He's working on the house today. Put his nice 75 up on the wall yesterday. He's primed and ready to go for football season, and on the verge of winning his first fantasy championship.
Maybe Bob's going to start caring about football now.
Oh, dude, he cares. He just doesn't want to let you know. It's not NASCAR, but he certainly cares.
WB. He's got Gage, Lamb, MVS, Lazard, or Marquise Brown. Non-PPR.
Wow.
Needs to win a championship here, like all of us, WB.
Do you trust Marquise Brown? Because I do not.
Not really. I'm not sure how many you need here, WB.
Let's order them then.
All right, so if it's just one, I think I just go with...
The first one.
Oh, man. Gage, yeah.
I go Russell Gage. I go CeeDee Lamb. I would go Marquise Brown. And then I would go MVS over Lazard. MVS has been the deep ball guy, and because you're not getting points here for any pass catching, you just have to go for pure yardage. So I think MVS over Lazard is the play for the big play.
Yeah. Asking for a friend, Mac. I have DJ Chark playing right now. I'm behind in a matchup. I could add a guy like Chad Hansen off the waivers in a plus matchup, or the chance of a deep bomb, DJ Chark going off for 20 points, but that just seems like it's so unlikely to happen nowadays. What do you do with a guy like DJ Chark when it seems like the Jaguars are actively trying to lose football games?
Like I sat down DJ Chark in 2 matchups yesterday, one for Antonio Brown, which ended up being fine once he scored that touchdown. But DJ Chark, it's like with Mike Glennon starting, my confidence level of DJ Chark even being targeted downfield just drops. And it was higher with Gardner Minshew, but we still didn't see anything. Like DJ Chark has been very, very disappointing the last 4 weeks. And so I think with that said, you just kind of have to pivot off of the name value and what DJ Chark has been for you and just look to other places. So I don't know who your other options are.
It's all waiver guys. We'll have to talk later.
I mean, if you're going between him and Marvin Hall, maybe you just roll out DJ Chark. But I mean, if it's a flex spot, like maybe you try and pick up Harrison Bryant. Maybe you try and pick up Austin Hooper.
Yeah, those are not. I got like Guyton around. I've got Greg Ward. AJ Green, MVS.
I would
Those
just
are kind of
roll
my
a
options.
Yeah, that sucks, man. Chi-Chi, Colts or Steelers defense? I would roll the Colts. I do not believe in the Steelers right now.
Yeah, I would probably roll the Steelers, honestly. I know it's not it's the same matchup, right? Going to throw the interception. I mean, the Colts could just run the ball all day.
The Colts will run the ball all day.
So that's why I'm yeah, okay, so maybe Colts.
I just look like, Benny Snell looks like he has the starting role now. James Conner's lost it, and it's Benny Snell, and I haven't been impressed with Benny Snell as a runner, man. He's just, I don't think he's good.
No, he's
we might see some Anthony McFarland, but it's I go Colts. The secondary is better, less beat up too.
Yep.
Vivek, since Robinson is out, should I start Greg Ward, Lockett, Robbie Anderson, Kiki QT, T.Y. Hilton, or Chase Claypool? It's a lot for one spot.
Lots of good options. I assume. Well, those are all wide receivers, but Allen Robinson is in.
I thought he was talking about James Robinson.
If it's James Robinson, then it just seems odd to give me options for all.
Yeah, so to Landon's point, if it's Allen Robinson, you play him. If it's James Robinson and this is a flex question, then I would personally go Robbie Anderson.
That's not a bad play. Lockett has not been great lately, so I understand not wanting to play Lockett. Claypool always has upside. Depends. I think it also depends on if you're favored to win or lose. Vivek. I think for sure Robbie Anderson's a very solid play and a pretty good matchup. I think it's in a dome. I can't recall at this moment, but any of those guys, they're all in a very similar tier. QT has upside. T.Y. Hilton's a tough matchup, but we've seen him be really good lately. Claypool can take anything to the house. Greg Ward might be. I think there's too many pass catchers in Philadelphia, so I would just stay away from. And then Lockett, you're just hoping for that week-winning performance, which we haven't seen lately. So I think Robinson or Robbie Anderson is in a really safe that mid zone of floor and upside, like Mac recommended.
Cheers to easy. Hopefully that thumbnail luck that DeAndre Swift kind of ruined it yesterday, but the Kamara. Hopefully that thumbnail looks still working for Devontae Adams. I would love that. We've got 25 people in here, only 10 likes. Hit that like button right now, please, and thank you. We appreciate the support. Matt Mag back in the chat from yesterday. He's asking between Trubisky, Goff, and Baker at the quarterback position, and this is gross. Mitch,
I need you to answer
Mitchell
this by yourself.
Trubisky. You need to start Mitchell Trubisky over Goff, over Baker. And the answer here would have been a resounding Baker, but now with all of the downgrades at wide receiver, I think you got to pivot off of that in a what I project to be a very run-heavy game script for the Browns. And then Andrews or Hooper, I would go Andrews.
Yep.
Amazing. Also, should Vivek start Mayfield or Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson. You need to get away from Baker today.
I think you just Fant or Hooper now with all these pass catchers gone for Baker. I think you go Hooper over Fant.
George is also, or Jorge, if I pronounce that correctly. Hopefully I got that right. Gage or Hardman, I would roll Gage. And Hurts or Russell Wilson.
Then just go Hurts, my dude.
Matt Mincy, I had Gaskin and Jeff Wilson yesterday. I remember Matt's question. I'm glad you went Jeff Wilson. That was I was hoping for a big game for him. I kind of thought that that's the way that they would go, and they featured him, and he was great. He needs to fill one wide receiver spot between Juju, Brandon Cooks, Cole Beasley, and J.K. Dobbins. Which two should he pick? So we need a wide receiver. We need a flex. We already have big performances, 230 bombs from Gaskin and Wilson, so we're off to a great start. We need to take that into consideration here, Lando. I think Juju and Cooks are off the table, and I think it's Beasley and Dobbins.
Go Beasley and Dobbins.
You're with that?
Yep.
Beautiful.
Yeah, with Diggs being a little bit banged up, that just gives Beasley just a little bit of an edge. Like there's a chance, if Diggs plays and he's fully himself, that's possible, and he's just awesome, right? But there's a chance that Diggs is just limited. They might not need him. They might just be Mr. Reliable, Cole Beasley, like he has been all year round, even with Diggs active. So stick with Beasley, and then Dobbins as a smash play.
Half PPR. Let's just boost that floor up. Let's take those 10 receptions and take them to the bank. And you don't need to get cute. The realm of possibilities for Juju Smith-Schuster right now, we have a 2-3 point game. He has that bustability in a tough matchup against the Colts. Brandon Cooks is fine, and I don't mind if you go Brandon Cooks over Cole Beasley, but I just think that Cole Beasley over the middle of the field is just going to be just hyper targeted.
Brandon Cooks, he can disappear for 3/4 of a game, and then he catches, it's one drive, and then it's all that. Exactly, but if he doesn't get that, if they don't need him, if the game script lends to, okay, let's just run the ball out, then it's not a Brandon Cooks game, and it could happen.
Thanks for the question, Matt. Appreciate you, brother. Well, hopefully we can help you out a little bit further, but I think you're off to a really good start to that fantasy championship. Terrell 2, nice. Dobbins, David, Johnson, or Gibson in a full PPR flex. I would go Dobbins here, but you might go David Johnson, Landon?
No, I prefer Dobbins. Beautiful. We just got apropos message that Mark Ingram is out. Not that it really mattered. He's probably healthy scratch again, so that just lends more to J.K. Dobbins. I know Gus Edwards is involved. Whatever, doesn't matter. I think Dobbins is a great play.
Bob says NASCAR is still number one in your heart, not in this community though, Bob. It's not really the case, buddy.
Is it athletic to drive a car? I don't know.
I would love to be in a car going that fast. Like, what does that feel like?
Same.
Bob did it when he was in Vegas, and he said it was like you just kind of get sucked down into the seat, and he wasn't even going top speed. Like, I think he only went like $170, and they go like 210 in a draft.
Yeah, if he's driving.
Ask 16-year-old Landon what it feels like to go that fast in the rural streets of Thunder Bay. The Thunder Bay police know.
Uh-oh. I've seen him roll down the Thunder Expressway in the back seat pretty fast.
Hey. This is the show. It's time to show.
Yes, sir. Pool hall antics right there. Ben leg 1 back from yesterday. Need a running back, wide receiver, and a flex in a standard league. Currently have Henderson, DK, and Brown. I assume that is Marquise Brown.
Or AJ Brown.
Or AJ Brown. I think you're right. Have Hunt and Gibson, considering benching DK and starting Hunt instead, or something else.
I think I would probably do that, yeah.
Let's assume that this is AJ Brown.
Yep. If it's Marquise Brown, bench Marquise Brown.
Kareem Hunt.
Yep.
But yeah, I would. If this is AJ Brown, I would go AJ Brown in your wide receiver slot, and I would put Hunt in over DK in your flex. And a lot of people are asking me, like, what do you do with DK Metcalf this week? Do you sit him down for a guy like Russell Gage? And the answer to me is no. DK still has that big playability, and he was held to 2 receptions against Jalen Ramsey last time. In my opinion, he got the better of Jalen Ramsey. He beat him off coverage. He created separation. He got Jalen Ramsey a little bit frustrated, and Russell just didn't connect with him. I don't know that happens again. I think DK can win you a matchup.
Watching that game, I do believe that Russell just didn't even target him and just went elsewhere. He didn't even look his way. He didn't even look his way because Russell's a very smart vet quarterback. He knows where top coverage is. But when Russell forces DK the ball, he goes up and makes plays. And if they want to win the football game, they're going to have to force DK the ball. It's one of those things. I think this game they don't care what coverage it is. They're going to make it happen and make it work, and they're going to get on the football if they want to win.
WB, any great sleeper wide receivers this week for 10 non-PPR points? I kind of said it earlier. I think Marvin Hall being the lead receiver for the Browns now. Marvin Hall, remember the name.
I love that. I like that a lot. Maybe a DK play. Yeah, there's a few guys that have the upside. There's no locked and loaded. You'll get 10 DK points for this player. But like Emmanuel Sanders might have been that on Thursday. Like he's the Mr. Necessary. Like if Cole Beasley's out there, he is that guy. But like I don't know who's on your waiver wire, dude. So it's hard to really say.
Yeah. Garul Brothers, welcome into the chat. Should I start Antonio Gibson or Corey Davis at the flex? Damn. I personally would take an upside play with Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, I would just stick with Corey Davis, just being what we've seen lately. Maybe it's too risk reward. Like if you're behind in a matchup, like I said, and you need the big play of a running back, you can go with Gibson, hoping he's the same guy.
The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned with, though, is the Green Bay secondary is quite good, and the run game is not so good. I think the game script lends itself to a big Derrick Henry role, and I don't know how Ryan Tannehill in a cold weather game is going to beat the Packers downfield where Corey Davis excels. So I don't know, man. I think the ceiling is a little bit higher for Gibson.
Potentially.
I don't really know what Corey Davis's floor is right now.
I think it's higher than Gibson's floor because the chance of re-injury is there as well with Gibson. Okay. We didn't expect Gibson to be available again this season. Personally, I thought he was out for the rest of the season, but obviously he's healthy. If he's back to 100%, it's Gibson all day. And if Mack's projecting him to be fully healthy and ready to go, for sure, then he's right. He's 100% right.
I just think you're looking at two guys with very similar outcomes if games are average at this point. Antonio Gibson returning, Corey Davis in a tough cold weather matchup against a good secondary. Like that's I kind of see them as equal. But who can pop off? Who can have the ceiling play? I would rather put that chip on Antonio Gibson in a full workload if he is healthy than Corey Davis trying to beat the Green Bay secondary down the field. I don't know. It's kind of where I kind of lean.
Solid takes from the boys. We'll just take a minute to say there is 25 of you watching right now. We're at 16 likes. We're trying to hit an all-time high today. So if you could take a minute to hit the like button, the little thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. That's all we're asking for a little tip for the boys for all their grinding. All right, back at it, boys.
By the way, Bentleg said he went Kittle over Gronk yesterday. Gronk only 2 catches, but 4 tutties. Yeah. Look, Kittle wasn't bad, man. 4 for 92. Limited work. Had he played a full game, that would have been quite the performance for you in championship week. But either way, you got a good performance. It would have been nice to go Gronk, but, it is what it is. Carlos Sosa, good morning to you as well. Great show. Was wondering Logan Thomas or Austin Hooper. I go Logan Thomas. With Terry McLaurin out, the workload for Logan Thomas could be that 15 target range again, like last week.
Yeah, it's hard to go away from those targets. I know Austin Hooper generally has been such a hot and cold player. I think he is a very safe option this week with all the wide receivers out and they're going to still have wide receivers. They're still going to have guys to catch the football. I do think that Baker will go to basically it's going to be a 3 guys. It's going to be a funnel between Kareem Hunt, Nick Chubb, and Hooper. Maybe that's too narrow streak. It's hard to say. So I'll go with the better quarterback play in Cleveland with Hooper there. It's close though. It's not like you can't really go wrong. So the safe play is Max guy with those targets.
Yeah. I would go Logan Thomas. I mean, Austin Hooper's now appealing with the Browns having really limited receivers. It's a question of how much will they throw? How successful will they be on the ground? That's kind of the wild card. And with an offense that just runs the ball really second in the league to the Ravens, but they do it with more efficiency. Like the Browns' run game and offensive line should dominate this game. So I kind of lean Logan Thomas. 2 good options though this week. Dan Cha says Watson or Hurts. Deontay Johnson or DJ Moore. So a quarterback and a wide receiver question. Standard scoring, need the higher ceiling play because he is playing catch up. And that context does matter. So thank you, Dan. I would go for the ceiling play. I would go Jalen Hurts and I would go DJ Moore. Those are the two ceiling plays in my opinion.
I tend to agree.
Now, if you had said I played Alvin Kamara and I just need to coast this one out, I would go Deshaun Watson and I would go Deontay Johnson just for the volume, just for the safety. But if you're playing catch up, I think you got to go with the other two options and go Hurts, DJ Moore.
Yep, I like that.
Justin Keelman, Chark, Mike Davis, or Zeke in the flex. Also, congrats on 1K subscribers. Thanks, Justin. You are a part of that, so congrats to you, too, for helping us build this community. My man, you've been here almost every stream, and we appreciate you. I would go here Ezekiel Elliott, and I don't feel great about it, but DJ Chark, we've talked about him with your start-sit, Landon, how disappointing he has been, especially with Mike Glennon instead of Gardner Minshew. So I'm not really putting any faith into DJ Chark having a big day. And Zeke is still Zeke in a middle-of-the-road matchup. So I still go Zeke here.
Yeah, I mean, trusting Mike Davis, he let us down, let everyone down last week in a pretty good matchup against Green Bay. Washington's a very tough defense to play against.
That front four, like we talked about.
You're relying, yeah, I tend to lean Zeke there as well. It's tough. He's coming off an injury, but he should have played last week. He's kind of a last-minute inactive. I think Zeke wants to show that he's better than Tony Pollard, and he needs to prove that to everyone because so far we are more excited about Pollard this week than we would have been with Zeke. Honestly,
Zeke is expected to play though.
Yes, he is expected to play.
We've got a really ugly one from Robert De Niro. Zach Moss or Kalen Ballage? Pick one.
I would throw my hands up in the air and say, why are you asking a question for the toilet bowl? Just kidding. Robert De Niro. I would go Zach Moss, I guess.
I would go Zach Moss as well. Snap share has been increasing, and he's had double-digit carries for the last 2 weeks. In my opinion, looked better than Devin Singletary, which isn't saying much, but the Buffalo Bills running offense has been quite underwhelming. But I would still go Zach Moss over Kalen Ballage just because, I mean, Austin Eckler is going to feast in this game, and I just don't see a need for Kalen Ballage to be on the field unless it's a runaway game.
I just want to give a shout out to everyone in the chat. If they're new from Twitter, like Carlos was, or just coming by every week like Justin is, we got Claire Moscow back in the chat, Lewis, Vaughn in the chat, Tony again here, Jason King. Thanks for coming by, everyone. We are going to get to every single question. This is a very important championship week, and I appreciate all the real ones coming back every single time. And then the new ones, hit that sub button. We're doing this thing all year round. We got big plans for 2021, just like producer Scott was saying.
I can't wait to get into this 2021 draft class, man. Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, Rondell Moore, Jamar Chase. Give me some Jamar Chase.
Love that. Love that.
Wahaj is asking, is Tyron Johnson a valid replacement for Keenan Allen? I would say yes. I would say
he is.
Yes, in a good matchup against Denver. He's back-to-back weeks with a touchdown, 12 targets over his last 2 weeks. I like the opportunity share. I like Justin Herbert this week, and I think it is a place that you go. Now, Keenan Allen is expected to play today, but will it?
He's at game time still.
Sure. The reports I've read from beat reporters in L.A. saying that they expect him to play, but I think it'll still be on a snap count if he does. So you said yesterday, Landon, that you were fading Keenan Allen. Does that change going into today?
No, I'm not going to play Keenan Allen. I'm going to recommend everyone not play Keenan. I don't want the same thing that happened last week to happen this. If he gets lucky with the 7-yard touchdown because he's been out the entire drive and they bring him in for like these individual plays, sure, he got that look last week too. Like he had the opportunity last week with an end zone shot. He didn't make it. So if he does make the one play this time, hey, you're. But if again the same script doesn't happen and then they just run the ball with Eckler and Eckler finally gets in, then you're looking at Keenan Allen like he's of course you shouldn't have played him. Look what happened last week. We just saw the exact same scenario. So I'm just going to fade Keenan Allen. I'm going to go with other options, high upside plays. We're all in a matchup where we're down. We're all in a matchup where they had the Jeff Wilsons, the Gaskins, the Alvin Kamaras. So we need upside play, and Keenan Allen does not provide that upside to me at all.
And I would agree with you. Robert's also asking Cole Beasley, Marquise Brown, Jerry Judy, Kalen Balazs, Sammy Watkins. Pick one. It's easy. I think this one's easy.
Cole Beasley.
Absolutely.
Gotta go the Beasles.
Gotta get the Beasles.
Absolutely gotta go the
No
Beasles.
vaccine for the Beasles. Once you have them, it's over for you and your opponent.
We're all infected. We're all positive.
Bentleg was talking about AJ Brown, so that's good. We were spot on with that. Good call, Lando. Justin Keelman's also asking any other people that may be available to pick up. I think I gave him Marvin Hall. Cam Sims, maybe, if you want to go down the Washington route with Terry McLaurin there. I'm kind of saying no. And Darnell Mooney, if he's available, is a nice little flyer play for the Bears.
I've been a big Anthony Miller fan for years, but he's been a letdown. I'm not going to play him this week, and he could get 3 targets and 1 reception. That's kind of what his MO has been lately.
Jason King lost scary Terry McLaurin. Should he start Beasley on Monday night? Opponent has Allen. Again, playing off of your opponent doesn't really matter. We're trying to pick the best player for you in your lineup. T.Y. Hilton, opponent has Lutz, Waller, Marvin Jones Jr. go already. I've had one player go. Evans with a little smirk. Yes,
perfect.
Love that. I would go Beasley.
Yeah, just go Beasley. Go with that. It's nice that you tell us, Jason, who your opponent has. That matters to a point if you're up and behind, all that stuff. So I just go Beasley. He's got the ceiling. He's got the floor. We've seen it all. Just go with the Beasles this week. Hopefully he doesn't let you down. Like I said, if Stephon Diggs is limited again, it should be even better. So that's what we're playing off of.
Absolutely. Lewis Vaughn here. So, what are your thoughts on Marvin Hall over Jerry Judy or even Alan Lazard? I've talked a little bit about Marvin Hall, Landon. What do you think?
I think he's in play. I don't love trusting. I know his name. I know Marvin Hall's name. I don't love trusting a guy like that. But when you have options like Jerry, I would trust Marvin Hall over those guys. Jerry Judy has been a complete letdown. And it's not him. It's not his talent. It's Drew Lock throwing the ball. It's going to be with Philip Lindsay out this game. It's going to be the Melvin Gordon show. It's going to be a big one for Melvin. And we've seen Fant be more involved than Judy. Right. So basically Drew Lock is dumping it off to his big target guy. He's even going against Albert O, his old teammate, rather than Jerry Judy. Jerry Judy's good for 1 long attempt per game. Sometimes he catches that 130-yard bomb, and that's kind of it.
But that hasn't been the case since KJ Hamler's come alive a little bit.
So, you can play Marvin Hall over Jerry Judy. Know, Lewis, that this is not a confidence play. This is a play of opportunity. This is a play of a chance that everyone's out. So you go with Marvin Hall for a flyer, but it also is a chance that he is terrible and doesn't catch the ball.
Do you want to know how many targets and yards Jerry Judy has had over the last 4 games?
Sure.
Take a wild guess, Landon. Targets and yards. 4
so
games.
I assume he's 4 games. I think he's probably had 13 targets.
14. Very close.
And yards, I think he's got 52 yards.
45.
That was close.
14 targets and targets, not even receptions. 4 receptions for 45 yards in the last 4 games.
It's probably coming on two of those receptions.
It's been KJ Hamler being the downfield threat. It's been Noah Fant making a little bit more of an impact. Melvin Gordon has stolen the show, and Tim Patrick is like the guy working the slot. It's like Jerry Judy is the lost piece in this offense, and it makes no sense.
No, he the talent wise, he's right up there with
CeeDee Lamb,
Jefferson,
and Justin Jefferson.
Lamb.
Absolutely, I think he's even the best route runner of the 3. And lost in a bad offense right now. So I would still.
All right,
go...
40 people in the chat right now. Just want to quickly chime in and say, if you're coming over from Twitter and it's your first time, make sure to drop all your questions in the chat so the boys can get to them. I see 25 likes and almost 40 people in the chat. So we want to make sure you're hitting that like button and hitting that subscribe button to make sure you join the crew to get good analysis just like that. Mac, give the verdict.
The verdict there would be Marvin Hall. I would take the upside chance on him.
Yep.
Yeah. I would love to say Alan Lazard, but just haven't seen it from him. So I'll go the upside play in Marvin Hall being the wide receiver 1 for Baker Mayfield.
Cool. Tony, Njoku, Harrison Bryant at tight end over Fant, and no, I would go with just Noah Fant.
Claire, Moscow, in a close PPR championship week 17 championship. Claire, come on.
So they do a combo. So I talked to Claire. So they add both.
Still don't
both
love
guys,
that.
Both
Still don't love
weeks.
that.
I know,
but
yeah.
Whatever. Slightly behind in the matchup, Herbert or Josh Allen have Diggs, but he had the worst game against the Pats. Herbert might not have Keenan or Henry. I would go Herbert over Allen.
Yep.
I would go Herbert over Allen.
Yep.
Claire asked a lot of really good questions. She also asked why we had Dk Metcalf over Robert Woods in our rankings, wide receiver rankings this week. We had DK at 6. We had Robert Woods at 12. And my response to her on Instagram, I love the question, Claire, was, the upside for the two receivers does play into the rankings. Jalen Ramsey will be shadowing DK Metcalf again. Like you said, Russell didn't really go to him last time that they played. I expect things to be different. I think the upside for DK Metcalf is the difference maker, and Robert Woods is a safe play. So if you need a floor play, you go with Robert Woods. I think if you need that ceiling play, though, you go DK.
If Claire's only slightly behind in the matchup, I think going Woods would be a smart go. And she just needs that 10 to 14 point performance, and Woods can give that to you. DK can give you that 27-point performance, and you could make that up in other places, like going Herbert this week, which is still a very decent quarterback play. So, yeah, I think Claire's a phenomenal fantasy player. She's been killing it this year. I'm glad she's joined the Snap crew, and good luck in week 16 and 17,
Yeah,
Claire.
let us know next week. I think we'll do a stream next week. Not really sure. Week 17. I don't know how many people are in championships, but we'll figure it out. If not, we'll get back to you on socials.
We could even just have like a random Q&A, like hang out with the Snap crew. We might not have 30 questions, but you could ask us personal questions. If you still have a week 17,
no one wants
you
to
can. Hey, you never know. People, what we do in our free time, what we do for work.
It's still gonna be quarantine, boys. We can make it a drinking game.
Hey, Landon, why do you feel the need to support the Charlie Brown Christmas Tree Fund?
You know what? Everyone needs a little love in here, and just like my Christmas tree.
Gibson over Ito Smith, Malcolm Brown, or Sony Michel? Yes, absolutely. Pranesh, yes. Youngwei Koo versus the Chiefs, or Cairo Santos versus the Jags? I would go with Youngwei, one of the best kickers in the league. Blessings to you too, Carlos. Appreciate it. JP, really stressed out. Haven't slept much. Just really want to win this. Dude, I'm right there with you. Last night was not a good sleep after Kyler Murray. I started off the week really strong with Alvin Kamara. And then Justin Jefferson was okay in the same game. And then Kyler Murray just kind of... He let the door squeak open just a little bit. So don't love that. Don't love that.
Yep. We live and breathe this just like you guys.
We're right here with you. Roger. Hey, guys. I need help for the consolation game. Should I go with Ito Smith or Le'Veon Bell? And DK or Kiki QT in a standard league? I would go Le'Veon Bell, and I would go DK. Beautiful.
Correct.
Eric, hey guys, would you trust Russell Wilson again or start Baker with no wide receivers?
This time, Eric, I would go with Russell and just go with Russ.
Go with Russ. It would have been. I probably would have said Baker had we had Jarvis Landry and DVP and Rashard Higgins, but we don't. It sucks. And I don't understand this. Yes, they're a close contact, but can't we get a quick test done and just deem them negative, or does that go against the protocol? Like, could it be a false?
They still need like 3 consecutive days of negative tests.
So
just wait for what the NFL money will get us in 2021 for what they're going to. They'll have like a mobile tech lab just ready to roll. Want to jump in quickly and give a quick shout out to the one-man Jamal Williams fan club. Boy hopped in, said he saw a Packers toque on and hit the sub button immediately.
You know what it is, Jamal?
That's all he needed. We're a good fan. We're a big fan of a good Jamal Williams run ourselves, but loved that he hopped in, saw Packers green, and decided the snap is where he wants to spend his Saturday and Sunday mornings on the live stream. So welcome to the crew.
I do all the graphics here. I control everything you see. You think Devontae Adams on the thumbnail was by fluke? That was by design, brother. I want more Packers fans in these chats. These two are Vikings fans. Gross.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going blue for the old Packer, the Acme Packers jersey. We got that yellow in the branding. It's all green and gold, baby.
By great Scott, it is. I'm just learning this for the first time. We need to have a branding meeting after this.
If I went green and yellow, these two would have figured it out really quick. But I went blue and yellow. Little Acme. Love it.
Carlos, he's got one more. Jonathan Taylor or J.K. Dobbins. Mac, this is kind of a tough one because we're expecting J.K. to have a really good game. It's a good plus matchup. We are, in this podcast, are massive fans of Jonathan Taylor. It's a on paper tough matchup against Pittsburgh, but Pittsburgh's D has not been looking super great lately. It's possible they show up, but come on, what do we do here?
Jonathan Taylor.
Go with JT. JTT.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who's been really, really good. I roll him. And I know it sucks. And I love J.K. Dobbins. I love the workload. His pass catching ability is great, but so is Jonathan Taylor's, man. And between the two, I think JT's the more physical runner. I really think the Colts just try to beat those Steelers down on the ground and hit them where it hurts.
Yep, I like
Two
that.
solid options, man.
And we have seen Gus Edwards involved too much for our comfort.
Just around the goal line, but no, I'd still go Taylor. Jeff McGarry, fellas, am I about to sit Allen for Hurts? Will Jalen put up 3 touchdowns? Allen is great, and the Bills will win. Gilmore is out, but Bill Belichick is a mastermind. You got that right. My opponent has Diggs. I need 20-ish points. Wow.
Wow is right. So we've mentioned this, Jeff, before, that we're not too concerned that your opponent has Diggs. We care that if your opponent had Jeff Wilson and Gaskin and Tyreek Hill, that matters to us. Diggs as a player has been phenomenal. He's a great player. So I guess that matters to a point, but I
just don't see how Jalen Hurts going up against the Dallas Cowboys with how mobile he is can fail, I think just with his rushing floor alone, like we've seen him run for 100 yards in his first game against a team that hadn't given up a 100-yard rusher in 55 games. Like the Saints are not easy to run on. Him and Miles Sanders did it.
Just an example, Jeff. Like we saw Kyler Murray have a terrible game, but he still put up 16 points because of his groundwork. If he just scored one of those touchdowns, past one touchdown, he would have been that 20-ish points you have. So even if Hurts has probably the worst game he could, he's still going to finish with 16 fantasy points. So I'm expecting him to at least run for 1, and he could at least totally pass for 2. So I think Hurts is the play.
He didn't even throw a touchdown. He didn't run a touchdown in. It was just pure yardage and rushing floor that got him to that 16, which, look, it hurts. You're expecting maybe 35 from Kyler in a really good matchup, and it didn't happen. But he didn't totally break you.
If a guy like Drew Brees or Big Ben has that kind of game without touchdowns, they're putting up 6 points.
Right. Yeah. The rushing floor for Josh Allen has not been as high as we would have liked. Like last year he was a man possessed rushing the football. This year he's a little bit more reserved. He likes to use Stephon Diggs and Cole Beasley, and now Dawson Knox is becoming a bigger part of the offense. They drafted Zach Moss so they could have a little bit of help running the football. I think if you need 20, you go with Jalen Hurts here. I just think the matchup's too good.
Love it. Mr. Thompson is in the champ game. He's PPR league. Have Kamara, but Murray stunk it up yesterday. So
I'm
Mac,
in the same situation,
you can relate.
Noel. Exact same.
So he's got Higbee and Atkins.
Okay,
Atkins at
Noel,
tight
here's the
end.
way to think about it before we get into this question. You had Kamara for 55, you had Kyler for 16. That's 71 points. If I could tell you to start the week, you can get 35 from each player. You sign on the dotted line. Are you signing? You're damn
100%.
right you're signing. So look, Kyler hurt us yesterday. I'm in this with you, but it's not the end of the world. Alvin Kamara putting up a top 5 all-time fantasy week helped you. Like 35 apiece. It's not a bad split. Just don't try and get cute here. We're still in a really good spot here to win. So let's kind of keep that in mind going forward.
So he's got Kupp as well as Higbee. So he doesn't want to have two players from the same team relying on those Rams. We know Jared Goff and how he's broken our hearts and souls this year.
Can you trust Jordan Akins though?
That's a tough one. It's a plus matchup. They have to rely on receivers like Hansen and company. I think Akins has a decent amount. He's very similar to Higbee then. So if your tiebreaker is going to be different teams, different offenses, I don't mind a Higbee and Kupp.
I'd be curious, Noel, to see who is available on your waiver wire. Like a guy like Harrison Bryant, for example. I would rather play over both of those guys.
Would you? Yeah.
I would.
I don't blame. I think Akins is in a similar tier.
Just why play Tyler Higbee, who's really only been a part of this offense again in the last 3 weeks? We really haven't seen much from him the whole year. Week 1 he popped off. Week 2 he was all right with the week 2 he popped off with a 3 touchdown game. You're like, ooh, Tyler Higbee picking up right where he left off last year with 5 consecutive 100-yard games to end the season, and then he's really just not been a factor in the offense. So I don't really know what the upside is with Tyler Higbee. Just feels like a very tertiary play.
Yeah. So I think Higbee's out of it. So I think then with that, if maybe I'm sure Bryant is available on the wire, but I think it's
what Noel comes back with if he's still in the chat, and we can maybe help him out. Out of those two, I guess you go Akins, but I think there's maybe potentially better on your waiver wire.
All right, 35 people watching right now in the stream. I know we can beat that. We're looking to beat our all-time high of 92. It is Championship Sunday. Let's go. If you're new to the feed, make sure to hit the sub button. We're building the community because 2021 is going to be a fire year for fantasy football and content. So hit the like button, smash the sub to thank the boys. Let's get back at it.
Listen to the producer. Before we go any further, I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, Manscaped. They have the perfect package 3.0. I never thought that I would need a body hair trimmer. I mean, I don't really have a lot of body hair, but where it does grow, it needs a little bit of a trim. And Manscaped gives you everything you need. Skin-safe technology in that Lawnmower 3.0, waterproof, an LED light, a 10-hour battery, which in shave life is amazing. You guys need to check out their products. They got some really cool stuff coming out for 2021. If you go to manscaped.com and you use that promo code SNAP20, that will get you 20% off plus free shipping. Your balls will thank you.
WB is asking about, does Lockett still provide more upside than Gage or Lamb because Slay shuts down Cooper and could be a shootout?
I don't even know that Darius Slay will be on CeeDee Lamb. I think he'll probably try to draw as much Amari Cooper coverage as possible.
So so Slay is on Cooper. So now he's thinking Lamb,
Gotcha.
Gage, or Lockett.
I still think that Lockett provides more upside.
Yeah, if you want to go with the narrative, so we're big on DK Metcalf, whatever, but the pass rush for the Rams is good. Jalen Ramsey shuts down DK. It could be a Lockett game.
It was last time, 5 for 66 and a touchdown.
So it could be a Lockett game that he might have to get the ball out quick and early. This game script could lead to Lockett getting a bunch
You know
of
that
work.
Jalen Ramsey-
And-
Lockett is one of the best B options in the NFL at the receiving core. Make no bones about that.
The number 2 option, Lockett is great. Just he hasn't seen it lately. It's DK been the number 1, or no one's been the number 1, or it's been a Carson game. So yeah, I think Lockett still provides upside for sure. Over Gage, pure upside. I think Lockett's there.
It's a ceiling play though. If you want a floor play, I think you just go with CeeDee Lamb, which Andy Dalton could dink and dunk the way down the field.
Gage and Lamb are good floor plays.
Right.
No question. Both guys.
Who has the highest floor and the highest ceiling? Probably Russell Gage. Who has the highest ceiling? It's Tyler Lockett. Depends what you need, WB, but I still believe the upside is there for Tyler Lockett with, Jalen Ramsey is going to want that rematch against DK Metcalf. You know it. Tony, 2 flex spots in a PPR league. Had Jarvis. Hate that. Will need big points playing against Hill and Aaron Jones. We've got Antonio Gibson, DJ Moore, J.K. Dobbins, Gio, and Darrell Henderson. Some really good options here. Curious to see who you would go with here, Lando. I am leaning Dobbins and Henderson.
Yeah, I didn't think you would go that way. I thought you were going to go Dobbins and DJ Moore, but I like the Dobbins and Henderson play. I like that. I'll stick with that.
If you want to go for the ceiling of all ceilings, you go DJ Moore, but I think it just comes with too much risk where Dobbins and Henderson should get really full workloads, and both of them have good matchups on the ground. So I would just go with the workload and the opportunity because that is king in fantasy football. So Dobbins, Henderson would be the answer for me there.
Yep. I like it. Brian R. If you're new to the channel, make sure to give it a quick sub. He's got Hurts or Watson.
Now, down below, he said that he has a big lead because he started Jeff Wilson and Myles Gaskin.
Love that, Brian. Love that. You must have been on the live stream yesterday, so thanks for coming by. In that scenario, I might just stick with Watson. Keep with the stud. Watson, he still has a pretty good ceiling. They played the Bengals. He's a baller. Like he's gonna win that game because he wants to win every game, even though their team is bad. The Houston Texans are going to give up a ton of points because their defense is bad too. So it could just lead to a good game by Watson. I think Watson is going to sneakily win a lot of people championships.
We've seen Deshaun Watson just be the guy, the X factor, who can take over a game and be special with his arm. And he's mobile too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget how good Deshaun Watson is. So I would go Deshaun Watson. Absolutely.
We said the same thing about Kyler, I'll be honest with you, but I mean, what are you gonna
look? Like I'm not gonna go back and say that I should have done things differently. I'm gonna stick with Kyler. He got me to the championship. He's the #1 fantasy quarterback. I'm not gonna pivot off him in a matchup where he's been successful already this year. Dan Arnold dropped a couple balls. DeAndre Hopkins, wasn't special. He couldn't create separation. Kyler wasn't mobile enough. It was there was a couple turnovers. It was a bad game script. They never were able to do anything.
The #1 fantasy quarterback is going to lose people matchups, including myself. So it sucks to suck. Like, what else are you going to do?
Man, it is what it is. And you got first and goal, 6 attempts to get into the end zone, and they go to Kenyon Drake 5. It's like RPO that, Kyler. Run it in like you usually would. I don't know.
I know he's done that plenty of times.
JP started Swift and he's sad. So is Landon. Kevin Mason, PPR League, start 2. Robert Woods, Ridley, and Amari Cooper. I would go with Woods and Ridley.
Undefeated Dale, DJ Moore, Metcalf, or CeeDee Lamb need one in fantasy championship close in points right now. It's really tough. I'm going to stick away from CeeDee Lamb because you've got 2 really good options with DJ Moore and Metcalf. We've seen DJ Moore disappear and we've seen Metcalf disappear, but I think Metcalf is the #1 wide receiver. He's been phenomenal. He's got the week winning upside.
I'm still going Metcalf. He is our #6 wide receiver on the week. I really do think that he exposes Jalen Ramsey this week.
Man, and you guys have no idea how much I'm praying for that.
I hate Jalen Ramsey. I love DK Metcalf. I seriously want to see them succeed, and Jared Goff has just really pissed me off this year.
Yep.
I want to see the Rams lose.
Brian R. Watson or Hurts. I'm a big lead. Yeah, we talked about that, Brian. We do get to every question. It might take us a while because we have lots of questions here, but thanks for the question, Brian R. Make sure to hit that sub button. Come be a part of the Snap crew, everyone here. We've got 32 people watching. We appreciate all the interaction, everyone showing up every single week, all the new people on Twitter. Scotty down there is hammering on Twitter, help and trying to get you guys in and be part of the crew. This is a big community we're growing, and it's going to be a bigger 2021.
Dave T, Lamb, or Cooper? I would go Cooper.
I would go Cooper as well. I know it was a tough game for Lamb last week, but he's still the number one. I don't think Slay is going to shut him down.
Yeah.
Or Cooper, yeah.
Darius Slay is fantastic. The only thing is he's small in comparison to a lot of wide receivers. So it's sometimes it's not a fair fight. And Amari Cooper is certainly one of those guys that is overly athletic and really, really, sure-handed. So I think it's a tough day for Slay.
Kevin, Chargers, Patriots, or Bears? Now, we're a big fan of the Chargers this week. They've got a lot of guys back healthy on the D-line. It's great to have a really good pass rushing D-line against a bad O-line, and that's what the Chargers do provide. But I still... Is he out still? Oh, I thought he was back in. I'll go Bears there in that scenario.
Let me that real quick. Joey Bosa is out.
Shoot. All right. Just kidding.
I still like the Chargers defense.
Against the Broncos.
If you want to go Bears, that's cool. I get it.
I'll go Bears there.
Yeah, against Mike Glennon. I mean, look, Mike Glennon's been fine, though. He's not been bad. I still think I lean Chargers. I'm not going to lie. Wahaj, thanks for answering these questions in depth. Earned yourself a subscriber. Appreciate you, Wahaj. Thank you. One more, if I may. Logan Thomas or Robert Tanyan, been mulling this over. I think, and look, you know that I love Robert Tanyan, and I love his red zone upside. I just think the volume now with Terry McLaurin out, it extends itself even further for Logan Thomas. The opportunity share for him will be, I think, higher. So I'm going to go with Logan Thomas. Bumped up in the rankings for me.
Yep. Thank you for coming by. We appreciate you. Always new to the community. And we're happy holidays. Thank you as well. 2 RB spots, PPR, Zeke, Pollard, Gibson, Peyton Barber, Gus Edwards, Ito Smith. I plan to start Gibson and Gus Edwards. What are your thoughts?
I would play Zeke.
Sitting down. You'd say Zeke?
Zeke over Gus Edwards.
Yeah. I know it's tough to trust Zeke. I get that. I think he's still, like I mentioned earlier, prove that he's still worth all that money. They paid him a massive amount of money and give him the opportunity to kind of get back there. And I think I would go with your studs here as well, Zeke and Gibson.
It's just like, what does Gus Edwards provide you that Zeke doesn't?
I mean, yeah, Gus is going to... The upside for Gus is in the touchdowns, but there's always the risk that Lamar Jackson just takes those in for the touchdowns. That's the issue here. So Zeke doesn't have that. Andy Dalton's not going to rush in the goal line in the red zone for those touchdowns. So you're taking away that upside for Gus. Gus is going to have to take one from 20 yards out, which he's done before. We've seen him do it. But I just don't. I think you go with Zeke and Gibson there.
If you play Gus Edwards, you know that it's going to be a single-digit carry with J.K. Dobbins locked and loaded to go, and you're praying for him to vulture a touchdown, which Landon just outlined. It's been RPO with Lamar Jackson. It's been design run for Lamar Jackson in the red zone. They haven't handed it off to Edwards or Dobbins as much as they could have. 2 weeks ago, Gus Edwards vultured 2 touchdowns, and if you played him, great, but he only had 9 carries. And you look at the last handful of games, 5 carries, 7 carries, 9 carries, 9 carries. It's a single-digit opportunities, whereas Zeke is going to get you anywhere from 12 to 20 touches. And yeah, he hasn't been great, and this is the world we're living in right now. And if you had been following the channel, we told you to sell Zeke 5-7 weeks ago.
One of our biggest videos was the Zeke video.
But I think you still have to roll him out. I think you got to go Zeke, and I like the Antonio Gibson upside play. So I would go there. I would not start Gus Edwards.
David has 2 questions. He's got Hooper and Ingram, and then it's in a half PPR league, Hunt, Miles Sanders, Dobbins. So some really good running backs there, David. For your tight end question, I would go with Hooper over Evan
I would
Ingram.
go Hooper over Ingram as well. Noted that Daniel Jones is expected to start today, even though he is a little bit banged up. Evan Ingram actually said he looked fairly healthy and looked good throwing the ball. I don't know if that bodes well for Evan Ingram or not, but I'm just kind of out on Evan Ingram right now. And with the boost in opportunity for Austin Hooper we project, I'm going to go there.
So Hunt is... So this running back question, I'm curious to see if you could flex one of these guys, David.
Absolutely.
Because you have three really good options. Between Hunt, Miles Sanders, and Dobbins, I believe we have Miles Sanders and Dobbins higher in our rankings. But that was technically before the whole news about the wide receivers going out. I do believe that gives Kareem Hunt a boost, but I think it's mostly going to give Nick Chubb a
Hunt
bigger
is
boost.
sneakily the wide receiver one for this team today.
I know.
Yeah, I'm with Landon. Yeah. David, there's got to be a way you can flex in Kareem Hunt. Let us know what your lineup looks like, and we'll keep an eye out for that at the bottom of the chat. But it would be Miles Sanders and J.K. Dobbins for the two running backs there.
Love that.
Javon Pope. Tanyan or Henderson for the flex position, I would go Henderson. Henderson over Zeke as well.
Wow. What's up to everyone new to the chat? David Wellens in here. Kicks my game. Kevin. Prost is in the chat here. Thanks for coming by if you came by on Twitter. John West, Jonathan Lee, Austin back in the chat. I think I was talking to you on Instagram last night. Again, if you message us on Instagram, Twitter, you're reaching one of these three guys. Like we are the three guys in the Snap crew. We'll answer all of your questions, whether it's on here, on Instagram, on Twitter, on Sleeper. We're here trying to go as in-depth as possible to help you win your championships. We spend more time than the big guys on your questions. We're not hammering rapid-fire answers, one-word answers off you. We're going to go in-depth on why we would play your players.
We still need to make it to the end of the questions, so let's try to double time just a little bit here. Pranesh, I don't trust Keenan Allen, neither does Landon. It's a full fade this week for us. Gage or Tyron Johnson. I think Gage has the more the highest ceiling, the upside, so I would go Gage. Tyron Johnson's not a bad replacement though.
Yep. What's up, Austin?
Mary. Lost points on Swift yesterday. Hope to catch up with David Johnson. I have Carson and Hunt on my bench. Hard to believe I'm writing this. I would start. Oh man. I don't know how.
Carson and Hunt?
I don't know how you sit Kareem Hunt down out of those options. I understand the Carson fade, even though I think he'll be great. I would not play David Johnson over those two.
Yeah, it's tough, Mary. This is tricky. I didn't see you yesterday because we probably would have said to start DeAndre Swift, but I did. I lost points too. I was disappointed. He kind of got some garbage time work, but
I would not have played Swift over Carson or Hunt. They would have been higher for me. Yeah. Right. But I would go Kareem Hunt and Chris Carson over David Johnson and potentially would want to flex both of them. But between Carson and Hunt, where would you lean? Is it Kareem Hunt?
Now with the news, it just feels like Kareem Hunt has so much upside now. So they might play both running backs at the same time. It's hard to say.
So does David Johnson with no Duke Johnson. And look, the matchup is good too. So I get it.
Yeah.
I like Kareem Hunt better.
Because you need to make up points, you have to go take a shot in the dark, and hopefully that Kareem Hunt scores 2 touchdowns. That's what you're hoping for.
Nick Chubb scores 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Let us know, Mary, in the comments, and let us know what else the rest of your lineup looks like. Maybe we can fit somebody else in there for you. Sherry Stackpool, Jonathan Taylor or Antonio Gibson. I would go Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor. You're welcome, Eric.
You are amazing, Eric.
We appreciate you.
Golf God 68 morning half PPR flex. Gio or Henderson.
Yeah, is this your ghost account?
Well, I wouldn't choose 68. Sometimes those are bad days, Lando.
Hey, the 60. Yeah.
I would pick more like 63.
63. Yeah.
68's a great day on the links. My lowest is 64, and I don't know about you. You a 68? 67?
I was a 68. 68.
So this might be your burner.
This might be my burner account. Griffin sent us a message yesterday on Instagram saying he drank too many beers on the back nine and shot plus 42.
That is impressive. That's an impressive stat. I didn't know that was possible.
That's Scott range.
Yeah, that's a couple tall cans deep at the municipal golf course for producer Scott. So well done.
Hopefully the new irons were good though.
Hopefully the new irons were good. Hopefully that's all on the back nine and on the front nine.
Roger, good luck to you. Thanks for coming by as always. Undefeated Dale, DJ Moore, CD Lamb, Dk Metcalf need help. Pick one. I still lean DK Metcalf. I think we got this one already.
Yeah, I hope for DK as well.
Marvin Hall or T.Y. Hilton?
Oh, I think T.Y. against Pittsburgh,
T.Y.
man. Yeah, I still go T.Y. He's been good.
I think that's potentially getting too cute. T.Y. Hilton's been great. Steelers defense banged up. I would go T.Y.
Yeah.
G-Med.
Austin, I agree with you. I'm not playing Keenan Allen whatsoever.
Go Pack Go. You know what it is. Down big, non-PPR, Lamar or Hurts, and Keenan Allen, Lockett, Tyron Johnson, Gage, or Marvin Hall. I think you got to go Lamar still.
Stick with Lamar.
Keenan Allen is a fade.
And then for
upside plays with Lockett, I think.
Upside plays
Lockett
with Lockett.
Or Gage are the two that I would decide between, but I would go Tyler Lockett.
Pure upside. Now, we know that Tyler Lockett could give you a 4-point performance. We understand that. But it's if you're going to lose, you're going to lose anyways at that point. You got to go with the upside play. He could put up 34. If he does that, I lose my championship matchup.
Austin Kohler, always very astute, saying he'd be careful playing Josh Allen. It's a championship week. Don't get Belichicked. OG mastermind, you know.
I was thinking Keenan Allen.
But yes,
Josh Allen.
The Belichick comment.
Right. Belichicked. Yes, of course. That's why.
Jeff Curtis, fellas, I got two debates in my mind. Goff or Matt Ryan. Ingram or Jonnu Smith. These are standard scoring leagues. Man,
that is tough, dude.
So I would go Matt Ryan. I don't trust Jared Goff. He's been my boy all year. He helped us in the Scotty Fish Bowl. He got us to the conference finals and let us down in a big way. Man, what do you do? The matchup is pretty good against the Seahawks, but I think Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan hasn't been great without Julio Jones, but Calvin Ridley's really coming into that alpha role nicely, and I would lean Matt Ryan there.
Yeah, Matt Ryan has not been good except for the last game.
Right.
So if you ride with a hot hand, you can go with Matt Ryan repeating for a big game, could throw 2 or 3 touchdowns. I think both, you know what, as bad, as ugly as we kind of reacted to that question, Jeff, I think you're fine with either one.
I do see them
Goff against the Seahawks, they're going to be fine. They're very similar plays. They both have a 3-touchdown upside. They both have 300 yards in their back pocket. Like
I would have answered Goff if Cam Akers was healthy.
Yeah, I think Ryan is a good play. Goff has a better matchup.
I would go Ryan, and I would go Jonnu Smith over Evan Ingram.
Ryan and Jonnu, love it.
Matt Solis faced Kamara and Gaskin. Oof. Matt, condolences to you. We're here for you.
Yeah.
Anytime you need us, snap_fantasy. This is a fantasy hotline as well as therapy counseling. Just kidding.
Mac might need that therapy himself if he loses today.
Dude.
This channel might be over.
Just like I ended a stream when we draft Jordan Love, I will end this channel, period.
I will end this stream.
No, channel.
Jordan Love.
Delete channel.
Boom.
Need to. Mike Davis, J.D. McKissick, Darnell Mooney, Valdez-Scantling, and Tyron Johnson. So we need upside plays here, fellas. I think it's J.D. McKissick, and I also think it is Tyron Johnson in the absence of Keenan.
I think it's Mike Davis for me, and then potentially Tyron if you want to go with the 2 running backs, because Mac went with McKissick. I think that's fine. I think Mike Davis, I know he had a bad game last game, but he's still the only running back there for Carolina. It's a tough matchup, but I mean, I think he could run for 2 touchdowns. We've seen it. It's just it's hard to predict the game script for Mike Davis.
Anytime that I can take running backs, I will. So let's go Mike Davis, J.D. McKissick. Okay,
cool.
Boom.
All right, producer Scott, jumping in quickly. We have over 40 people on the live stream right now. Thanks for coming out, everybody. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit subscribe, especially if you hopped over from Twitter. Drop any questions you have in the YouTube chat, and make sure to like the video. We're going for a new all-time high. Previous is 92. I think we can get there. So make sure to like, subscribe, and we're here for you every week. Boys, back at it.
Parth, PPR, Corey Davis or T. Higgins? I would roll out T. Higgins.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I would roll out Corey Davis. Sorry, Parth, for no help.
I'm a little bit of a fade on Corey Davis this week, but
yeah, and that says because you were big on Corey Davis last week. So maybe Mac is the Corey Davis whisperer, and he just knows where he's gonna perform, and not. I don't know. So Austin has a tough question because he had Rashad Higgins. We were big on Rashad this week as well. Picked up Marvin Hall, but it's hard to trust him in your championship matchup. It's tough to. It's a shot in the dark, man. Like it's like he could have a massive game. We've seen guys like Tyron Johnson do that with Keenan Allen hurt. Like he's a very similar tier to that. Or he could suck. There's a reason why he doesn't play as a starter in the NFL. It's just you really have to take a shot in the dark, my dude.
Yeah, he can't be trusted. But I given that you were leaning on Rashard Higgins, I think it's just the logical place to go. Yeah. Just added Marvin Hall, and earlier you told me to start Zeke. Still Zeke? Yes, still Zeke, Justin.
Still Zeke.
Josh, my new best friend, had Kamara, Curtis Samuel, Marquise Brown, and Russell Gage. Really looking for highest floor. Also stuck in Viking country. Way too much purple for me. Dude, you know what it is. Look, yeah.
Oh wait, wrong way.
Where I met these two up in Thunder Bay, north of Duluth, just past the Canada border. It's basically all Vikings fans and a few Packers fans mixed in because we're still in that Wisconsin territory. But dude, how ugly is the purple and yellow, Josh? You know, be real with me. It's terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, well, you know, we're purple country because we went to the games back with Culpepper and Randy Moss. Right. That's why we are fans.
We saw the catch.
Had you just gone to Duluth and taken the bridge instead of just continuing down, you could have just been Green Bay fans, and this could have been the greatest podcast on the history of the planet.
But too much cheesehead for me.
You picked the Vikings. Yeah. So he's looking for the highest floor plays. So he had Kamara. Who is the highest floor play? Curtis Samuel, Marquise Brown, or Russell Gage? I think Russell Gage.
Russell Gage is the highest floor play.
Okay. Noel coming back. Bryant isn't available. It's a very deep league. Then I think you go with Aikens.
Aikens. Yep. Just to diversify, it's a tiebreaker between Aikens and Higbee, man.
Austin said, have you guys thought about creating a Discord? We have not. But Austin, I assume you maybe use Discord. Maybe you can give us a little bit of a rundown on what that looks like and maybe the advantages to us, and we might set that up for the off season.
This year has been huge for our community. It's grown like crazy. We see the same names now in and out every single week. We've had to do this to grow, and now we can look at Discord channels. We'll be getting super chats, so you can give us $1 tip if you really like the time we spend with you every single week. That will be available in next year. It's still going to take time because it just has taken time, Austin. That's all.
Yeah, Austin, if you can hit us up on Instagram or Twitter and kind of let us know about Discord, then yeah, man, maybe you can help us get this thing up and running. Absolutely.
Yep.
Mary, thanks for the subscription. Washington, Panthers, or Texans DST. I would go with the Washington football team. Baker or Russ. I would go Russ. Hi from Chicago.
Golf god Henderson over Gio, my dude.
Sorry, say that again.
Golf god asked about Henderson over Gio, and I.
One.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Cool. Mary also says hi from Chicago, and our family are Packers fans too. Mary, I love you. Living in the city, the Windy City, the Bears are right there, and you just said no. I want the better team.
I've got a soft spot for all the women in the chat. This is an industry dominated by men, and I love the people. My girlfriend knows names of players because she listens to me every day talk about it. She doesn't know who they play for or what position they play.
You just be like,
she'd be a good
Drew, Deshaun, and she'll be like, Watson. It just comes out of nowhere.
Honestly,
it's crazy. Mary, hopefully you're having a great Sunday there up in Chicago. We've got a blanket of snow here. Don't know what the weather looks like for you, but it was a white Christmas. So Merry Christmas to you and your Packer family. Love you guys.
Yep.
Corey Lloyd, Austin Eckler, or Jonathan Taylor, Standard League for the ship. I think you go Austin Eckler there.
Even in a Standard League, Austin Eckler catches a lot of balls, but still that's giving him yards. It's Eckler in a much better matchup.
Matchup. Henderson over Gio, thank God. Griffin is recovering from yesterday's back nine. I want to know how those irons turned out, Griff. If you're still here, let me know. Really interested.
Yeah.
I want to know what you have, how it went, and how many hosels you hit yesterday. Chat just jumped. Where are we at here? John West?
John West, Hurts or Lamar? It's Lamar for me as well.
Jonathan Lee, Higgins, Gallman, Gage, or Marvin Hall. I go Gage.
I would go Gage as well.
Austin saying, does he start Marvin Hall over Gus or Darnell Mooney? I think Darnell Mooney is a consideration for me.
He's sneaky.
He's more known than Marvin Hall. So if you want to go with the known commodity, you roll out Darnell Mooney. If you want to take the true upside play, the shot in the dark, the expected large workload, I think you go with Marvin Hall. But that one's for you to make, my man.
It's close. I would in this scenario, Austin. I know we've talked to you a lot, and again, appreciate you for coming in the stream. I would consider Marvin Hall here just for the opportunities, but we've talked about this a lot. It's a legit shot in the dark.
And David, hopefully you were listening to that as well. Marvin Hall with all the Browns wide receivers out. Yes, attractive. It is a shot in the dark, though. So it's take that with a grain of salt. Kevin Mason, Goff for Trubisky. We're going Trubisky this week, believe it or not. I don't know if you...
That pains Mackenzie to say that
But
out
look,
loud.
when you look at since his return the last 4 weeks, I've said this on, I think, yesterday's live stream. But if you missed it, Mitchell Trubisky is the quarterback 11 in his last 4 weeks since he returned as the starter. So for fantasy purposes, he's been getting it done for you, and I would roll him over Goff in a really good matchup against the Jags. Should I start Cooper Kupp or Keenan Allen? Prozik, a really hard fade on Keenan Allen this week. I think you got to go Cooper Kupp. And that would
agreed. You have a great option. Like that's the dream. Yeah, absolutely.
Every team has had one guy go completely off in week 16 so far. Yeah, absolutely. It's tough, man. Like Gaskin, Evans, Kamara, Gronk at the tight end position. There's been some big ones. I would agree, David, that Gage has been solid with Julio out, and Julio is out again this week. And that kind of reminds me, I will check some news real quick just in case we missed anything. Lando, if you want to go through and grab some of these questions.
Yep, absolutely, I will. My game, Jalen Reagor, gonna catch a 70-yard bomb. That's okay, yes. Jonathan Lee, Gage hasn't seen, okay. Ebron or Noah Fant? I would go Noah Fant. I'm fading Ebron this week. He got banged up last week. I'm going to go Fant. David, I have Chubb, Sanders, Hunt, and Dobbins, so I would sit one, unfortunately. So he's got really good options. So because you have Chubb there, I don't mind then going mattered for us a little bit there. Like, it could be one or the other getting those touchdowns. It could be Hunt or Chubb. We're going to go with the better bell cow, and that's going to be Chubb with that one. So Rocky Balboa is asking, who do you guys like, Robert Tanyan or Goddard? He was leaning Goddard. So Goddard's been the pass catching leader in that Philly. I know Mac loves Robert Tanyan, but he is a touchdown dependent pass catcher for the Packers. Clearly, Devontae Adams is going to dominate all the pass catching for them. So if you're leaning Goddard, Rocky, I don't mind just sticking with Goddard. If that's what your gut says, they're close enough at the tight end position that, go with your guy. If that's Goddard, that's Goddard.
A great blitz there from Lando. Just viewers in the chat, thanks for hopping over from Twitter. For those of you who have, just reminded you that if you want to smash that like button, we appreciate it, as we're going for our new all-time high record. And the subscription goes a long way to thanking the hosts for all their input, as we have big plans for 2021, and we'd love to have you as part of our Snap community for the years to come. So consider hitting that sub button. Thanks a lot.
The only thing I will say about Robert Tanyan is that I think his opportunity share is higher than Dallas Goedert's. When we look at some of these receiving options coming to the forefront for the Eagles, Alshon Jeffrey in his return, Zach Ertz has returned, Jalen Reagor's taking a little bit of a step forward. The mobility of Jalen Hurts has really opened up the run game for Miles Sanders. The reliance on Dallas Goedert is going down because of all these other availability of pieces coming up. So I kind of temper expectations for Goedert a little bit, and I think between the two, Tanyan has the better chance to catch a touchdown, as he has consistently throughout the year. I believe he scored 9 touchdowns on the year. So
yeah, that's wild.
I would personally play Tanyan.
So there you go. Yep. Glenn, Matty Ice, Baker Mayfield, or Trubisky. We've got Trubisky the highest against Glenn. So Matty Ice has been good. Was good last week, but he's been really bad before that. So against Kansas City, it should be a shootout. I think Matty Ice is going to be fine, but I would go Trubisky against a Jacksonville team that's at football games.
Couple news pieces here. Alex Smith is expected to be inactive today. Dwayne Haskins is the starter, in case you were unaware of that. The Browns, Kevin Stefanski had said that at 8:15 this morning they did walkthrough in the parking garage next to their hotel in freezing temperatures, trying to get the new wide receivers ready for today's game. So doing an emergency walkthrough at about 8 this morning for guys like Marvin Hall and other pieces, trying to replace Jarvis Landry, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Rashard Higgins. Crazy times.
Yep. Man Monkey 600, thanks for coming by, man. Hopefully subscribe to the channel. Ebron, or roll the dice with Tyler Eifert, league bonus for first down.
First down. That I love that format. That's really cool. I would go Ebron. Yeah,
I've been a fade on Ebron. I understand he's the better tight end with a better quarterback. I guess it's Ebron, even though he's
now Garul brothers are saying Ebron or Noah Fant, and I would go Noah Fant.
Noah Fant, Garul brothers. We do answer every single question. You don't have to ask it twice. It just might take us a while to get there. Noah Fant over Eric Ebron. David Wellen, David Johnson volume has been insane last week. Yeah, he's been great. You're right.
Austin makes a good point, though. The game script is always changing, and matchups. I mean, look, you see teams succeed one week, and then they play Bill Belichick next week, and he takes away options that weren't there the week before. So how a coach plans to attack your offense is totally different game to game, week to week. Weather plays a role. Dome game versus cold weather game versus weather game. It can change. We can't. Look, I understand David Johnson is someone who won me fantasy championships in 2016, but I can't live in the past. I know David Johnson is a fantastic pass catcher, but we haven't seen that the whole year. He's been in the lineup, out of the lineup. Duke Johnson's been the pass catcher. It's like, who knows?
Yeah. Christy, I have Pollard as my RB. Do I go Zeke at the flex? She also has Curtis Samuel, Chark, Tim Patrick are also options. So I would not go with both Dallas running backs.
Over Pollard.
I would go Zeke over Pollard, and then probably Curtis Samuel over Tim Patrick.
I would go Tim Patrick.
Yeah, you could go with Tim. I don't mind it. He's been good lately. So Tim Patrick would be a good option there as well.
Tim Patrick. Secondary consideration would be Curtis Samuel. If you need who has the highest ceiling, though, it's still probably DJ Chark. We just haven't seen it in quite some time. But I would go Tim Patrick.
Yeah. Yeah, Austin, you're a true G man. Making sure those guys don't spam. It's all you're part of the Snap crew. I appreciate you coming by, Austin.
We might need we might need to increase Austin's role here, maybe as a
that might be it.
Moderator.
Get a little wrench in there from Scotty.
A little blue wrench.
It'll be a whole new competition. Who wants to help producer Scott? I need an intern, I think.
He also says he can get you lessons if needed. Austin, if you're still in the chat, what's your handicap? I'd be curious to know.
I'll look down on the chat to see when he answers that.
Okay, beautiful. What's your handicap, Lando? What do you play off right now?
I probably play off a 5 or 6 right now.
Okay. I would have guessed lower, but you didn't really play a whole lot this year.
It was off and on.
I don't know if we get to the first tee, I'm giving you 5.
I don't know either. We're probably closer than that. I always play well when I play with you. I play better when I play with good players.
Fair enough. Where are we at?
Billa.
Played Jeff Wilson and Gaskin over David Johnson and Kareem Hunt. Paid off. Damn. Need a flex. Keenan Allen or Robert Woods or Darrell Henderson. That's kind of where I would end that list. So Keenan Allen is out.
Yeah.
I think I just play Woods.
Robert Woods?
It's between Woods and Henderson. I think both have really good floors.
But I feel like he could play David Johnson or Hunt.
True. Yeah, you're right.
So I would go. You can
Then
go
if that's
with
the case, I'd
David
go
Johnson
Kareem
or
Hunt.
Hunt. Yeah, go Kareem Hunt then.
It's tough to sit down Robert Woods, though.
Claire sat down Jeff Wilson. Hey, that's all right, Claire. She's got Henderson or over Bell in the PPR champ, right? She's asking because we told Claire to pick up Henderson. I talked to her on waiver night, and I like Henderson over Bell as well.
I do too. I can't remember if Claire was in yesterday or not, but I was shouting Jeff Wilson's name from the rooftops, and glad that one paid off. But I can't remember if I told you yesterday to go that direction. But hey, we live, we learn, we adapt, and I've made some great starts this week, and I've made some errors. So, like Antonio Brown yesterday over Myles Gaskin in the Listener League Championship.
Austin is a scratch golfer. He played in college.
Oh, beautiful. Where'd you play?
Mac also played down in the States as well.
Yeah, a couple of my friends played at Penn State for the Nittany Lions.
I think Austin's a bit younger than us.
That's cool. Hey, it's all good. Just means when we make a road trip, we've got someone else to fill out a foursome.
That's it. Right, Scotty?
I currently, Austin, play off a +2. So my game has been a little bit better lately than it has been. But, yeah, I have been playing off about a +2 this whole summer. And Bob.
And I am firmly entrenched in I enjoy a good walk in nature ruined country.
And Bob, who's in the chat from time to time, Bobby Fanzel, he plays off a +3. He's a good player as well.
He's a good player as well. Jamal Jones, Fanter, Hooper, since all the wide receivers are out. Yeah, I would consider Hooper there for the Browns. Absolutely. For sure.
Okay, we got a double time here. We've only got about 15 minutes left. Yep. We're gonna go rapid fire. We'll just go back and forth. Landon, Ryan, did you do Ryan? Okay.
No, I was just gonna say I would go Lamar, my dude.
Griffin, personal best is a hundo. Only started playing more seriously in the past 7 months. Dude, golf is a fantastic game. Personal journey. It's different for everybody. Just stick to your game. Try to set some goals for yourself. Break that 100. And keep moving, man. It's wonderful. David, very true. Thought it was worth a share with Duke Johnson out. David should still get a lot of receiving. Yes, I agree. David Johnson is still a good play this week. Don't get that wrong. Calico, Gibson, McKissick, Pollard, Gio Bernard, or a wide receiver in my flex like DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson. Full PPR 4-point QB. I think if you want to go with like a really big upside play, you go with Antonio Gibson. If you want to be a little bit safer, I think you go Robbie Anderson. DJ Moore is also a ceiling play there. It would be between the three options for me. I would rather go running back over wide receiver, but Robbie's probably the safest. I played Murray over Josh Allen in the fear of getting Belichicked, plus weather plays a part. It sucks, man. It is what it is. I'm still the 16-point game didn't ruin the week. It's just not the 35 I was hoping for.
Yep.
Calico, Gibson is playing for Washington, so McKissick is a shady start. I don't know. I still think it could be a tandem there. Antonio Gibson or Gio Bernard, I would go Gibson. And chat just jumped. I think we're at Ryan there.
Ryan.
Seems like a lot of rankings have Hurts slightly higher due to the matchup. Yeah, Jalen Hurts was our number 6 quarterback or number 7 quarterback this week, but with Kyler already playing, he moves up a spot to 6 of the remaining. He's definitely less trustworthy than say a guy like Deshaun Watson. You kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. If you're looking for true upside, you definitely go with Jalen Hurts. But I'm not going to go all upside.
So, yeah, Jacobs is pointed. Yep, I get that. Diggs. My opponent has Ridley, Diggs, Montgomery. Yeah, man. Hopefully it works out for you. We got a lot of good chat, a lot of good conversations in the chat here right now.
I'm laughing at Josh's comment. He's in Minneapolis. It's disgusting. He has nightmares of that ugly bastard Chris Hovan.
I mean, he's very, no offense, but very ugly man. I understand.
Yeah,
it's okay.
100%.
Not the best blocker either.
Corey Davis Whisperer, that is me. Do I stay in the Flames with him again in the finals or pivot to Amari Cooper? I had Kamara and need the floor. I would go with Amari Cooper.
I would go with Amari Cooper as well. Dan, we may have covered this already. Gibson versus Gio in a PPR. So I would probably go with Gio.
Yeah, but
he's going against Kamara.
Who has the higher? He has to go for ceiling. Who has the higher ceiling?
I guess it's Gibson.
Yeah,
sure.
It's 100% Gibson.
Yeah.
Avery Holmes, full flex PPR, Chad Hansen, Mike Williams, Jalen Reagor. We're getting gross.
It's between Reagor and Hansen. I think it's Hansen.
Oh, man.
Like, Mike Williams is just banged up, Avery. That's why I'm going to fade Mike Williams a little bit. He played limited last week. He could be better. He has a great ceiling, but so does Reagor, I guess, in a full PPR.
I go Jalen Reagor with the best matchup of the group.
Right. Okay. Tab, Corey Davis, Mike Davis, CMC. Yeah, he's not playing. Or J.K. Dobbins. We would go J.K. Dobbins, Tab, for that one flex spot.
Pillar, Tyron Johnson, Wayne Gallman, or AJ Green in a full PPR. I would go Tyron Johnson there.
Tyron Johnson. Griffin's talking about our clubs. We'll get to that later,
We
Griff.
can have a separate little chat.
Jay Lopez, PPR pick 1, Moss, Lamb, Higgins, Gage. I think we go with Gage here in PPR league.
Warren?
Warren,
full PPR. Pollard, Tanyan, Connor, Tyron Johnson for the flex.
Oh, geez.
Wow.
War. I think we go Tyron Johnson.
Probably go Tyron Johnson. Close second would be Robert Tanyan. I don't know how much we can trust Pollard. Look, he's been great, but that's been in the absence of Zeke.
We wanted Zeke to be out. If
Zeke is out, it's all day Pollard, right?
It's smash Pollard.
William Wake, Flex Hunt, Miles Sanders, Corey Davis, or Tyler Lockett. It would be Miles Sanders for me.
Miles Sanders. Man Monkey. Thanks, guys. You're very welcome. Punted. All right.
Michael Torres, Cole Beasley, or Tyler Lockett. In a full PPR, I'd probably just go Cole Beasley.
Cole Beasley. Oh, he's got Hollywood. Warren has Hollywood Brown. Would you go Hollywood over Tyron Johnson?
Ooh.
Oh my God.
I would consider. Hollywood Brown
it.
Over
It's
Tyron
just
Johnson.
you're now going for a deep chunk play versus a volume play.
Yeah.
Low volume passing offense, high volume passing offense. I'd probably still go Tyron Johnson.
I'm giving that the filthy tilt question of the day award. You're getting that one, Chalk and Chuck.
Achilles, Zeke, Deontay, Cup, Gio. Pick 2 in a standard scoring. I go Deontay and Cup. If I can get away from Zeke, I will.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm going to try to get away from Zeke as best as I can as well.
You got 2 wide receivers who are heavily targeted and should be very involved. Who has more upside, Josh Allen or Jalen Hurts? I think it's Jalen Hurts this week. Nate says, would you guys start Connor or Azigbo Ogunbowale? That is the filthiest question of the day. Nate, you win.
I retract the previous award.
Connor's not playing, man. I don't think Connor's playing. So
I guess you got to go Azigbo.
Go
Divine Azigbo in the championship week. Damn.
That's why you made claims for Henderson and Lev Bell on your waiver wire, so you didn't have to play a Jaguar.
Yes. We could go. We could do a little. Maybe if we meet up with Austin one day, we could do a little 2v2. Me and Scotty versus you and Austin.
Love that.
We're in deep trouble, Scott.
Bring it.
I got to take you, I guess.
Hey, Scotty can play.
Scotty went low last year. Scotty went low a few times. We'll see.
I love it. Edward, what's up, boys? Chark, Crowder, or Hollywood? I'd probably just go Crowder.
Yeah, Crowder. If it's any kind of PPR league, Crowder's going to be a guy that he's going to get targeted.
Bent Leg said he's a 2 now, or was a 2 now a 5. We got a lot of golfers in this in this chat. I love it.
How did they find
I love it. So now, Scotty, you're out, and it'll be me and Bent against Austin and Landon.
I'll drink in the golf cart on the cart
we'll
path.
need someone
I'm okay
to
with
film,
that.
right? It'll go up on the channel.
Absolutely. And as we hit the 5-minute mark till kickoff, 27 of you watching right now. I see we're at 45 likes. We are over 1,040 subs today, so thank you very much, everybody. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit the sub button, hit the like. We do this every week, and it's just great watching the community grow. We love talking golf. We love talking everything you can imagine. So last shout of the day to those of you that are new, make sure to join us because we are here every week.
I'll do
for
5,
you.
Landon, you do 5. We'll just go in that order. Noel.
Yeah, Griff wants to be in the cart with Scotty drinking.
Griff, you're in, man. We got a little six-some going here. Noel, Harrison Bryant is available, so yes, I would start him over Aikens or Higbee. I think Cleveland runs the crap out of the ball, but if they need to throw, Harrison Bryant should be involved with Austin Hooper. So I would go him over the other two.
Chantilly, Henderson over Gio. Yes, my dude. Jeff, thoughts on Lev Bell? I think Lev's a good
Austin said
start.
he played at NC State. Do you know guys that I played with that would have went there? Matt Hill, Brandon Ing went there for a little bit. Let me know if you know those guys. Man, that's really cool.
Brandon Cooks or T.Y. Hilton? I would go with Brandon Cooks. Kev, Antonio 100% play, still needs, list is questionable. I think Gibson is supposed to be active. I'm worried about him. Mack is not.
Chantilly theory, Daryl Henderson, Gio Bernard. I would go Daryl Henderson. Thoughts on Le'Veon Bell? It's a safe play. I don't see a huge ceiling for him.
Yep. I still am okay with Le'Veon Bell this week. Depends on your other options, though, my dude.
Where are we at here?
I'm at Austin Gonzalez, DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson. I have Kamara, also played Ayuk. Shit the bed. Yep. I would go just DJ Moore then, Austin.
Totally. Yep, DJ Moore's fine. I mean, Robbie Anderson's a very safe play, but DJ's got that ceiling. Tyron Johnson a better play than Mooney or Edwards? I think so, just given the upside with that offense and Justin Herbert. Kev, thinking of starting Deontay Johnson over Gibson, I would go that way.
Yeah, I would go that way
If
as
y'all
well.
are gamers, the new 2K21 PGA is a lot of fun. Oh, man.
Uh-oh.
Yep. If you've got Xbox, you need to hit me up on social media and you can add me. We should play together. I've created a couple courses. My home course, Royal Ashburn Golf Club, nice play. I'm also working on my new home, Kawartha, two Canadian courses. But yeah, man, I like this. This is nice.
This is Jalen Robertson, Pollard, or Kiki half PPR. I would just go with Kiki.
Hilton or Tyron Johnson, I would still stick with T.Y. Hilton there.
And we're all caught up, guys.
I'll give you pick. You get Griffin or you get Scotty as your caddy, drunk caddy.
Oh, I'll go with Griff as my drunk caddy. Sorry, Scotty.
We get Scotty then.
I'm delightful. I take a little issue with that. Should be the 101 if we're talking drinking buddy caddies.
Is this becoming a golf channel? Yes, it's becoming a golf. So funny enough, like if you guys listen to the podcast, we talk golf all the time, and we always say as a joke, not a golf podcast.
Richie, he's got Ito or Pollard in a PPR. I would go Ito Smith over Pollard.
Man, I think I might go Pollard there. We've talked about the Atlanta Falcons not being able to run the football, like as a core.
Yeah, that's true.
If Pollard is mixed in, 10 to 12 times in the game, total opportunities, does he outperform Ito Smith in a full workload against the Chiefs? Probably.
Yeah.
Gross.
Man, this is tough, guys.
They do have 2K for the PC. Yes.
Thank you, Kev K. He's got a question. Antonio Gibson or Mike Davis or Gio Bernard, running back 2. I lean Mike Davis, but I think Mac likes Antonio Gibson there.
That one's close. Man. I think if you're playing from behind, you need to play Gibson. But if you just need a consistent little floor play, I think you go Mike Davis.
Joey, I would go Trubisky over Baker this week, my man.
If we can keep Griffin to 3 beers aside.
Roberto, Gibson or Pollard? I think I would go Gibson there, Roberto. Colin Morikawa was the best golf swing on tour. He won me some money, Austin. I play in a DraftKings little with like 20 other buddies. I've been playing Colin nonstop. The guy flushes his irons. He's phenomenal.
He's solid. Yeah. Who am I looking? Oh, Joey. Did you get Joey's question? DBS? Trubisky or Baker?
Yeah, I went Trubisky over Baker. We're all caught up. Thank you for coming by, guys. Make sure to sub to the channel. Hopefully you stuck through the golf chat. We got some great guys in the community here. Shout out to Austin and Griff. Appreciate you guys.
Did we get Roberto's, Gibson or Pollard?
Yeah,
half PPR?
I said Gibson. Gibson there.
Excellent.
All decided on Johnson or Hunt at 11:55. May have to flip a coin. I will take your earlier advice on QBs. I put Watson back in play and benched Hurts. Thanks for the warm welcome. Mary, thank you as well. Enjoy your Sunday in Chicago and go Pack go. We got a good one up against the Titans today. I'm really, really excited for that game. Yesterday's
good luck,
that
everyone.
Amazon Prime coverage was so boring and the game script was just so bad. That was tough TV to watch.
The boys could have done better commentary. They should have just had the Snap boys. At least a little sarcasm for the football we were forced to also watch.
In a minute's time, Chris Hansen in Red Zone and just getting that wonderful coverage. So
absolutely. As we're going to wrap this one down, I want to thank everybody and let us know how your championship match is. Intrigued. I'm hoping you get some crowns. So make sure you let us know how it all ends up because we'll be watching our socials.
Yeah. A DM Scotty or tweet him at Scott of the North. Let him know who you have, and he will cheer for your players. Because so far he only has to cheer for us right now, and he needs some more.
0.08 points, Lando. 0.08 points away from the championship.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Good luck in your championship week. We will see you throughout the week. If you need to get us on social media at @snap_fantasy on Twitter and Instagram for Scott, Landon, and myself. Thanks so much, and we will see you soon.